We lost Nipsey Hussle a few years ago today. All right, I want everybody to start off this video by dropping a rest in peace in the comments, and that's exactly why we're watching this right here. Now, I do want everybody to let me know, why did you love Nipsey Hussle so much, and what got you on Nipsey Hussle? Me, Crenshaw. First, that Crenshaw had me locked in. And once I found out he sold albums for $100, I was impressed. So let's get into this right here, man. Welcome to Rich House. Where are we on? Rich House Bars. Yeah, welcome to Rich House Reviews Bars. My bad, I got 3 other channels above my head. If y'all like it here, subscribe. Let's get it.
And the world still wants to know why. That we want to know why would somebody do that to a person that was leading the whole community? Why?
They said you had something to do with it, though, boy.
That's all we want to know is why. What would possess a person to take a person out of our community that was so powerful? So many people depended on that person. Nobody depended on this other person. Everybody depended on this one person in our communities. And they want mercy from this guy. Where was the mercy when he was kicking Nipsey on the ground? Where was that mercy at? Where was that mercy at? You want some mercy? You want somebody to show you some love?
Ermias Joseph Askedom was born August 15th, 1985 in Los Angeles, California. He grew up in the Crenshaw neighborhood, which is known for its vibrant but challenging environment. Ermias was of Eritrean and American descent, which is his father hailing from Eritrea and his mother being African-American.
Okay.
This diverse background introduced his worldview and cultural identity.
What I just found out what my name means. It means God will rise. And my real name is Ermias.
Okay.
It's from East Africa. It's from Eritrea. And so I didn't really know what it meant. She Googled it, and she like, your name means God will rise. And
Father DeWitt Askedom was a first-generation immigrant from Eritrea. His father would leave his homeland in the 1970s due to the conflict between Ethiopia and Eritrea.
Wow.
Eventually settling down in Los Angeles, California. DeWitt, a devout and hardworking individual, maintained a strong connection to his Eritrean roots and made significant efforts to instill the same cultural values in his children. Throughout numerous of interviews, Nipsey Hussle explained the Eritrean roots and the conflicts that the Eritreans had. Now, DeWitt and Angelique divorced in 1987, but both would play an internal part of the development of the future Nipsey Hussle. While young Ermias was raised by his mother, his father remained a constant presence in his life. His family lived in the area of Hyde Park, a neighborhood in South Central Los Angeles.
Okay.
This area had a complex and challenging landscape during the 1990s. During the 1990s, Hyde Park and the broader South Central Los Angeles area were heavily impacted by gang activity
look
and
at
the
these
drugs.
guys, bro. Look at
the
crazy.
area saw a rise in the violent crimes, largely fueled by rivalries between dominantly gangs such as the Bloods and Crips. These gangs were involved in various of criminal activities, including drugs. This escalated the violence in the area. The crack epidemic further worsened the situation, devastating the community with widespread addiction and related crimes. The influx of crack led to increased police presence and harsher law enforcement measures, including resulting in mass incarcerations, which mainly affected African-American men. Despite these challenges, the community's resilience and efforts from local activists laid the groundwork for future changes. Coming up, a young Ermias to his friends said that he was very brilliant in school. He went on to attend the 59th Street Elementary School. He's always had a passion for music. As a kid, he admired how his big brother Samuel earned money from several hustles. Samuel, or Blacc Sam's example, pushed Ermias to find different sources of cash flow. From shining shoes, selling ice cream, and mowing lawns were among these hustles. In particular, Nipsey thrived at shining shoes. Hussle often spoke about his early entrepreneurial experiences, including shining shoes as a kid. In an interview, he shared that around 11 years old, he would shine shoes in the Crenshaw area to earn extra money.
first stop right here today, we had Chambers Shoe Shine, and this is really one of my first stops on the road to the riches, man. I used to be back here all day, every day, man. Wives paid the rent, kept the bills paid, but other than that, we had to fend for ourselves. So I used to shine shoes, $250 a shoe. I'm trying to get 100 a day, times 7 days a week.
That's crazy.
Y'all like 12, 13 on this shit, feel me? This the little paint thinner, you strip your shoe first, boom, bust it down, paint it with the stripper, bust your shit down, and then you with a cool little knockout. Just doing this all day, your shit be all huff, you feel me?
The owners would salute his hustler spirit At the age of 13 years old, he started to record music officially. While a teen, on the weekends, he would travel to a rival's neighborhood to spend only 1 hour in the studio to chase his dream and passion. Growing up in the Crenshaw neighborhood, Nipsey didn't have access to a car nor the money for frequent studio sessions. Determined to make a name for himself in the music industry, he would often take multiple buses across Los Angeles to reach recording studios where he could lay down tracks and work on his craft.
The first studio I started recording at when I was like 13. We used to catch the 108 bus all the way down Slauson to the Blue Line, to the 103rd stop.
That's crazy.
And walk to the Watts Tower. And that go through like
You can
15.
You can hear it in his music though, bro. You gotta be passionate. That man was passionate.
20 different neighborhoods in LA that is all enemies of where we come from, you know what I mean? But we used to make that mission every Saturday because that was a free studio. It was worth it because, you know, we got to get in there and do what we got to do.
At the age of 15 years old, he would drop out of the Alexander Hamilton High School. Nipsey made this decision due to his passion for music and the influence of his environment. He saw an opportunity to make a living through music and the entrepreneurial spirit he had picked up from a young age. While trying to gain his music exposure, the streets and the opportunities in the streets turned Nipsey Hussle to be a full gangbanger as a full-time operation.
High school.
Did you go?
I did go to high school for 9th and 10th grade, and I was very capable, you know what I mean? But I wasn't focused on academics. I remember, you know, I had F's and D's every semester except 1 year. And one of my English teachers was like, bro, you smart. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you doing? And I just did all my homework and focused for one semester and got like 5 A's, 2 B's. Just because I peeped game and he was interested in my well-being, and he was sincere. So I was like, I'm gonna meet you halfway, and I did real well, and then I stopped going to school.
After that?
And just pursue music though. I wasn't just like hanging out outside. I was really.
You was focused on something.
Yeah, early.
That's dope.
Nipsey Hussle would eventually
That's dope.
join the Crips, one of the biggest gangs in Los Angeles. The Rolling 60s Crips to be exact. Now, they're commonly known as the Rolling 60s. They're a predominant street gang based in Los Angeles, California. The gang is part of the larger Crips alliances that was founded in the mid-1970s in the west side area of South Central Los Angeles.
You know what I'm saying? She knew what time it was. So if I bring her in the house, she understand that. You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't with that, smoking weed, hanging out all day. She not with that. Cause that's, you know what I'm saying? She don't respect that. So when I was at my mama's shit, a lot of shit I could do when I left, I couldn't do it for them. You know what I'm saying? So when I left, I went to live with my granny down the street on 5th Ave. Where I grew up at, this is my block, you feel me? So I was a young 85, I came home right here. My mama's house is in the hood, my granny house is in the hood. You feel what I'm saying? So when I moved over there, I was around homies all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? I was still getting my little money and shit. I fell under a gang of older homies and all that. And I started banging the hood. I put on the turf and started pressing the hood. And like, you already know everything come with that money. You from LA, everybody already know. If you ain't, everything that's in the streets, once you start gangbanging, you gonna be involved with selling dope, selling weed, whatever the case may be. If it's out there, you gonna be involved in it. So once that like jumped the throne and started pressing the 6-0 shit, it was like everything that the streets had to offer. You know what I'm saying? I signed up for it. Because I was around, was going to do the, you know what I mean, do their stuff. I always kind of like, I'm not ready to go sit down for 100 years for this.
In the early 2000s, Nipsey would be taken under wing by Cowboy, also known as Big Thundercat or S-Mac. Nipsey Hussle would take the name Lil Thundercat as his name in tribute to his older mentor, Cowboy Big Thundercat. Now, at the age of 18 years old, Nipsey would take a trip to Africa, and this trip will be a pivotal experience in his life.
I
He
ain't never know
traveled
that.
to Eritrea, his father's hometown, with his brother Samuel Askedome along. This trip significantly impacted his perspective and outlook on life. During his 3-month stay, he would get connected with his extended family and experience the culture and lifestyle of Eritrea. The trip exposed him to different ways of life and helped him understand his roots and heritage more deeply. It also provided him with a sense of identity and purpose,
That's
which
deep.
eventually influenced his music, business ventures.
That's why his music changed like that. That's why his music was so captivating, because he had a chance to get a different perspective. When an artist does that, their music becomes different, and their lyrics become different, and the message becomes different.
and community efforts back in Los Angeles. Nipsey often spoke about how his trip broadened his horizons and inspired him to pursue his dreams while staying connected to his cultural roots. It played a crucial role in shaping his entrepreneurial spirit and community upliftment. While traveling back to Los Angeles, a young Ermias would earn his name Nipsey Hussle off of the play of Nipsey Russell, a popular comedian and actor known for his quick wit, clever lines, and appearances on television during the mid-20th century. Born in 1918, Russell became famous for his roles on shows like Match Game and The Dean Martin Show, as well as his frequent appearances on game shows and a star on various sitcoms. The story of how the rapper Nipsey Hussle got his name is rooted in a playful connection to this comedic legend. He initially was called Nipsey by a friend who jokingly compared his hustle and drive and work ethic to the comedian Nipsey Russell. The hustle part of the name was a nod from Nipsey Hussle's entrepreneurial spirit and his relentless pursuit of success, particularly in his music career and his business ventures, even back then. Before Nipsey secured his major record label deal, he and his brother Samuel Askedome, also known as Blacc Sam, experienced a significant and harrowing event, a police raid on their house. Now in 2007 to 2008, just as Nipsey was gaining momentum in the music industry, law enforcement raided the home that they shared in South Los Angeles. At the time, Nipsey and his brother were heavily involved in the underground economy to firm their music careers and support their family. The police believed they were involved in illegal activities and executed the raid. This resulted in the confiscation of money, equipment, and other assets that Nipsey and Sam had worked hard to get. This raid was particularly devastating, and it became a crucial time when Nipsey was on the verge of breaking into the mainstream of success. Now, the police took around $100,000 in cash, which was the money that they saved up to invest into other music and other ventures. The raid also set back efforts to establish themselves in the business world, as they had been planning to use the funds to open up a clothing store, which later became the Marathon Clothing.
That's deep.
Despite the setback, Nipsey Hussle remained focused and hungry.
I put years into it and time into it, and it all ended with the police raiding my shit, taking my equipment, and bucking me up, and me having to fight my case, my brother going to the pen. So, you know, at that point, we lost everything. The house that we had got foreclosed on. The cars got taken. The jewelry got taken in the raids. The studios got taken. Everything I took. The stores that we had, the shops, we had a t-shirt store on Crenshaw and Slauson, those clothes and tees, that got taken. So everything crumbled, you feel me? And I was just like, at one of my lowest pointers, you know, I'm a real nigga, I'm always pushed through it. That was just like, you know, I gotta get money, I gotta get back in the streets and do what I do. It just so happened at that time, the deal situated. Started hearing my tapes.
Shortly after the raid, he signed his first record label deal with Cinematic Music Group and Epic Records.
That's crazy.
This deal marked the beginning of his rise in the music industry, allowing him to continue his journey towards becoming an influential rapper, entrepreneur, and community leader. The experience of the raid and the obstacles only pushed him forward to succeed on his terms and to eventually give back to his community through legitimate means. According to Nipsey, he said during the police raid, they found pictures of him holding weapons along with his co-defendant, Shady Blue. They had caught Shady Blue eventually and gave him a 3-year sentence. In return, Nipsey decided to hide out and go on the run until his record deal was completed. According to Nipsey, he hid out while being signed to a record label.
Wow.
Nipsey Hussle finally got his record deal around the age of 22 years old. Nipsey Hussle had his first commercial success after releasing the music video and the actual song Hustle in the House. The video was filmed in his hometown area, in which featured a scene where the entire crew is wearing the signature Crenshaw blue and gold crew necks.
So that's
After
where
the
it
video
started
went
from.
viral, according to Nipsey, his brother Blacc Sam took advantage of the opportunity and started to sell Crenshaw products. Those shirts would eventually start a brand, the Marathon Clothing. In 2017, the store transitioned into a smart store, offering features such as QR codes that customers could scan their smartphones to unlock exclusive content, including music, videos, and behind-the-scenes footage. The store also incorporated augmented reality AR experiences, enhancing merchandise and interactive digital overlays. By partnering with Spotify, the Marathon Clothing Store ensured a seamless integration of online and in-store sales. This combination of technology and community focus not only revolutionized the retail experience, but also embodied Nipsey's vision of economic empowerment and innovation within his Crenshaw neighborhood. The label would eventually part ways with Nipsey.
All right. if y'all want to watch the rest of this, man, write part 2 in the comments and we'll keep it going, man. All right, make sure y'all subscribe at the top bell. I'm out of here.